Hey there, I've got another cool tool for you. It's a ukulele, and I know it looks like a pineapple. I think it's supposed to look like a pineapple, but it's really a ukulele. If you look at the back, it looks kind of like an Ovation guitar because it's made out of plastic. The top is made out of plastic, purple top, rock and roll. The neck, however, is made out of solid maple, which is really nice. And the fretboard, even though it looks like it's wood grain on there, it is actually plastic. And this is called the Flea, and it's made in, of all places, all places of island music, New Hartford, Connecticut. So there's a lot of hula going on, I guess, in Connecticut. I'm not sure, but I'll have to ask my sister. But this is actually not a bad little ukulele. Sounds okay. I've been this week tracking some Hawaiian source cues for TV, and I got out my lap steel and I got out my ukulele and a couple other instruments and was tracking some cues and some music, and so I was in the mood and I thought, what the heck? Let's do a cool tool lesson on the ukulele. The basics of it are that it's tuned like a guitar. Everybody remembers the "My dog has fleas." That's how people remember how to tune it, and it is pretty similar to a guitar. In other words, if you can play guitar, you can play this. The chords translate well over to it. Now, if you were to capo, if I pull out a guitar here, you can see like a classical guitar. If I capo the top 4 strings at the 5th fret, those are basically the same notes that you would have on a ukulele: G, C, E, and A. Okay, except this G string is tuned up an octave. Okay, so you might want to pull up my video on the African tuned telly that I did, and that talks about playing different voicings and stuff using an African tuning. So this kind of has that thing going on where if you play a 7th chord, it creates a real tight voicing, one that you might not be able to get on a guitar, or at least not easily. It's almost more like called a piano voicing, where it's very easy on piano, but it's very difficult on guitar. If I play just like a D shape right here, this is really a G chord. Okay, and that's actually I've got a G and another G on the 2nd string. So the bottom string is a G, and this string is a G. So it's 2 of the same notes, and then I have a D and a B. So I have the whole triad there. But if I were to make this a G, like a D7 shape, but actually this is a G7 chord, it would have a little bit more interest to it because it has that tight voicing where it's got the G and the F right next to each other, and then the D below it and the B above it. Again, that would be a very difficult voicing to do on guitar. So if you just imagine that your capo, you're at the 5th fret, you can kind of find chords. Like if you just do this, that's a C chord. If you just put one finger right here at the 3rd fret on the top string, you see that black fretboard makes it kind of difficult. If I go like that, that would be a C7. If I go like that, all open, that would be a C6. Okay. If I were to play a D shape, that would be G. D7 would be a G7. If I wanted to play like a D minor shape, that would be G minor. So all those shapes and things translate, and you're just basically, you can kind of think of it as transposing up a 4th, or just have the capo on the 5th fret. One of the things, I like to use my fingers if I can. I feel like that's pretty authentic. I see a lot of people using their fingers when they're playing. If they're doing, let's see, might pull out the felt pick. I talked about this when I talked about picks, and that is a felt pick. That's actually, it's pretty solid. You'd think it would be really soft, but it's not. And this allows me to have the same sound, but maybe have a little more precision involved. Like if I'm used to using a pick, which I am. And so you can do, you know, bar chords, no problem. So that would be a C chord. Okay, it looks like a little top of a big bar chord. Okay, so that would be C, C minor. So if I played like a G, and then like B7, and then C, C minor, then I'm playing Creep on ukulele. Okay, so that's just, it's a real simple tool to get. I think these run about 170, 180 bucks for this one. You can find ukuleles all over the place for 20, 30, 50 bucks. Good Martin ones are going to run you in the, you know, 500 to 1500 range. You can find vintage ones. I kind of kicked myself because there was a period of time about 15 years ago where $300 Martin ukuleles were all over the place. You know, vintage, old, the soprano ones. And this is a soprano one. There would be, I think, and I'm not an expert on ukuleles. I need to pick up more because they're just kind of fun to have around. You know, they have tenor ukuleles, and I think they have baritone ukes, and they've been a bass uke, which is pretty cool. And so you can have different ukuleles for different songs or for different tonalities. A little richer, a little deeper sound will be the tenor or the baritone. This is a soprano one, so it kind of has its standard. To me, that's a pretty standard sound. And for a plastic ukulele, I think it sounds really good. And the tuners on it, I don't know if you can see, I got my tuner in the way here. They are friction tuners essentially. They're not geared tuners. They're a little bit better than my oud tuners, not much, and they're pretty touchy. It's a 1-to-1 gear ratio because it is not a geared tuner. It's just basically a pin going through, and you're tightening it and loosening it, and that's it. Okay, so I hope you can get one of these. It's you don't have to get this kind, but any kind of ukulele will be a good addition to your arsenal. It's always good to have around, and you can take them to the beach and play just about any song you want to play on here. I just played a Radiohead tune, so I guess it's totally possible. Okay, I've seen guys do Jimi Hendrix tunes on ukulele too on YouTube, so it's pretty hip. So anyway, God bless you guys. I'll talk to you soon, and we'll pull up another cool tool real soon. Okay, thanks.